I promised my niece and nephew I'd buy them any car they wanted if they kept a B average through high school. My niece crushed it and got her dream car, but my nephew never did his homework and now he's mad I won't reward his laziness, so his mom is punishing my niece for following through on her end. Posted by you/oldman_reddita. Hey, I'm an old guy who has never posted on Reddit, but at the urging of my niece and nephew I'm going to attempt to post this here. So I, 50M, have a niece and a nephew who are both 18 and just graduated. A few years ago when they were entering high school I made a deal with them. If they kept a B average their entire time in high school I would buy them any car of their choosing, within reason of course. We added a clause that they got one semester forgiven, so they were able to mess up one semester and I wouldn't hold it against them. I felt like 7 out of 8 semesters with a B average was pretty fair. So my niece maintained her grades. She did mess up her sophomore year but otherwise was right on track. My nephew on the other hand pretty much never did right. We were lucky that he even passed every semester. I offered help, tutors, books, tried to make sure he was okay mentally, whatever he needed, but turns out he just straight up was not doing his work. He was doing good on tests but would never do his actual work, resulting in his grades being low. So last week was when my niece got her car. She chose a 2025 Toyota Camry. My nephew kept asking when he was going to get his, and I told him he didn't stick to his end of the agreement, so he did not get a car. He still got a very nice gift back at graduation. Now, him and his mom are angry with me and saying I'm favoring my niece, and now he is refusing to speak to me or his sister. I don't think I messed up, but I'm starting to worry. Am I the jerk? Relevant comments. Commenter 1. NTA. You made a deal and he chose to mess around and find out. Academic struggles are one thing, but being irresponsible is quite another. Ops response. Yeah, I felt the same. I know school had always been a little harder for him, that's why I was trying to help before just giving up. But when it turned out he was making 90% on some of his tests but those were the only thing he did all year, I sort of lost sympathy. Commenter 2. NTA. You made the rules very clear. Question though, has he been tested for ADHD? I was very much the same as him, terrible at keeping up with my homework, but I did well on tests. I was diagnosed with ADHD much later, well into adulthood. Ops response. They've both been tested. Niece has it mild, nephew does not have it at all. I was the same way in high school, so if that was the case I would have been a lot more understanding. Commenter 3. Don't want to say you're the jerk but, if I was your nephew I am definitely holding this against you forever and I can imagine the everlasting jealousy of his sister now driving this car. He's basically gonna be reminded every single day about it too. So maybe I'm gonna be one of the few going against the grain actually, was a cool concept to motivate them but not everyone is, learns, the same and now he's just gonna feel worse about it too, well done jerk. Commenter 4. I get where you're coming from, but at some point, consequences have to mean something. He could have spoken up and told his uncle he was struggling. Judging from the post, I'm pretty sure he would have understood. He clearly did his best to support him and keep him on track. And let's be real, if he still got the car despite not meeting the original agreement, the niece would have had every right to feel resentful. It wouldn't have been fair to her at all. Ops response. Yep. I told him if he needed help to come to me. And as I said I offered tutors or anything and even told him I would give him an extra semester if he would take advantage of any of the help I offered. I attended a parent and principal meeting with him because he was in danger of not graduating. When I found out it was from him just being lazy, I knew the deal was off the table. Commenter 5. Did his mom know the deal and agree with it too? There's no reason for her to be upset with you too. She should be thankful that you are so generous with her children. Ops response. Their mom knew. I asked her before I ever even brought up the idea to the kids way back when. I love and take care of them like my own, so this is hard. It almost feels like my own son is upset with me. Commenter 6. Info. Did he turn down the extra help? Does he have a learning disorder? Would you reconsider if he does a trade school or other path to independence and is successful? Regardless of answers, NTA. Ops response. Yes, he turned down all extra help. I offered to even forgive an extra semester if he accepted help. Nope. No, he has been tested in the past. No, he does not want to go to college or trade school. Commenter 7. What was Ops' nephew's gift? Ops response. My nephew got $5,000 for his gift. My niece did not get that. He does also have full access to an older car that runs excellent, it's just old and not amazing looking. I thought maybe he would use the money to get it repainted or something, but I'm not sure. He has been tested twice and does not have ADHD or autism. I also had it in school, so I would have completely understood. But also he agreed to the deal. It wasn't like I just sprung it on them. They had agreed and their mother had as well. Commenter 8. Does Ops' nephew have a job? Ops response. Yeah, he got fired from his only job because my sister-in-law went in to yell at his boss. Commenter 9. Where are the twins' father in all of this? Ops response. My brother is not involved. Oops, meant to add that in the post. I'm basically their father figure. They call me Papa Unk. Commenter 10. Op responds to a downvoted comment about getting his nephew an older car. Ops response. Maybe. He does have full access to a car though. His mom has two and never drives that one. It's honestly old and raggedy as hell, but it works. Definitely no sharing. And yes, my nephew's grad gift was $5,000. I've been saving for their graduation since they were babies. Update, 3 months later. Hi peeps of Reddit, I wanted to give an update because lots have happened. So first I sat down with my nephew and his mom to talk it through. I explained that this was the deal he agreed to before starting high school, and that he has known for years he was not getting the car. Some comments say I led him on, which was not the case. He has been aware of not getting the car for years. And that his sister followed through, he did not. Well, all of that to no avail, he was still sulking and pretty angry. His mom felt I ruined his summer because he couldn't drive himself around, and because he refuses to speak to his sister, she won't drive him either. I then discovered that my niece was being punished at home because she would not let nephew drive or ride in her car. I told him I was not forcing her to, and it pretty much turned into a fight between me and my sister-in-law. Also, to address a few comments I got, my nephew still got a very nice grad gift from me, and he does not have any learning disabilities like some comments suggested. And also he had been aware he was not getting a car for around 3 years. As for my niece, she's been nothing but grateful. It was planned for her and her brother to move in with me, but only she has. I have not heard from or seen my sister-in-law or nephew in about a month. They have also both blocked and cut off my niece, which has been hard for her. Me and my wife are working on getting her into therapy, but otherwise she is doing fine and we love having her. So things are still hard, but we are all working through it. Thanks everyone for all the advice. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, why were they planning to move in with you? Ops response, they both planned to move in with me when they graduated. Purely because my house is bigger and they wanted a change of environment. Commenter 2, what else are you doing for her? It's starting to feel like you can provide them a lifestyle their parents can't and she's taking advantage and her brother is jealous and bitter he's not benefiting. I don't blame you for sticking to the agreement with nephew as long as it was clearly laid out from the beginning. And for him to treat you this way after you still got him a nice grad gift is just spoiled kid behavior. Oh, and shame on your sister for not sticking to any principles or standards. Ops response, my nephew is still welcome to live here if he apologizes. I was always going to pay for both of their college or wedding, whichever they choose. They've known this their whole life. I am paying for niece's college and still plan to pay for nephew's wedding. My sister-in-law isn't super well off, but by no means is she struggling. She could easily afford a car for him, she's just too cheap to do so. Niece also is not paying to live here. Yep, it's been clear since day one, which is why I don't understand why they are behaving this way. Commenter 3, Op clarifies the relationships between the twins and himself. Op's response, technically my brother's kids. But they don't know my brother and I haven't spoken to him in years. So I just say my sister-in-law's kids. Commenter 4, Op on having his niece's car in his name. Op's response, I do have say in it as the car is in my name. Also, she's an adult, so her mom has no say in what she does period. Neither do I honestly. Op's response, yeah, she wanted it in my name because she was worried her mom might try to actually take it. At the time it was still a few months before they were supposed to come live with me. Now that she lives with me we plan on switching it over. Still a gift, just protecting her. Commenter 5, this whole thing perfectly shows how being right can still blow up your family. You didn't break any promise, you actually stuck to the deal exactly as stated. But you completely underestimated how pride, shame, and family dynamics work. Your nephew didn't just lose a car, he lost face, and that humiliation got redirected at everyone else. Now your sister-in-law's furious, your nephew's cut off his own sister, and your niece, the one who did everything right, is paying the emotional price for your rigid fairness. You didn't create a lesson about accountability, you created a hierarchy. One winner, one loser. And that kind of setup always ends ugly in families, because people don't separate logic from feelings. What's genuinely concerning, though, is that you don't seem to realize the extent of the damage you've caused. You're describing a complete family breakdown like it's an unfortunate side effect, when in reality, it's the direct consequence of how you handled this. And honestly, it's weird that you made a long-term deal with minors about something this big without really including their mother in the process. That's not your call to make alone. It blurs the line between cool uncle and overstepping adult, and it probably added to the resentment your sister-in-law feels now. You're not evil, but you overstepped, underestimated the emotional fallout, and now act like the outcome was inevitable. Sometimes fairness without empathy, and without boundaries, just looks like cruelty wearing a suit. Op's response, their mother was involved the entire time. I asked her before I ever brought it up to them. Also, it was not one winner, one loser. They both could have won or lost. And lastly, I make a vast majority or all big decisions in their lives. For much of their lives I was raising them without my sister-in-law, and even to right before this, my sister-in-law would consult me on anything regarding them. Or the kids would ask me themselves. So while I understand, I did not overstep in any way.